So I shot and edited this music video.
Kiss, kiss Molly's lips. Kiss, kiss Molly's lips.
In my office using my iPhone and Final Cut Pro in 2 hours. And this is how I did it. Alright, so this video is all about how to multicam in Final Cut Pro and how to film using your iPhone. First and foremost, I used an iPhone stand, very minimal, very lightweight, cheap, like $30 on Amazon, that can go about 5 to 6 feet high. And then I put my phone in vertical mode because I wanted people to be watching it on Instagram and Facebook and that kind of stuff and not have to flip the phone over. So this is actually the first time I ever shot a video, a music video specifically in the 9:16 vertical format. I shot it in cinematic mode. So it's only 1080, it's not 4K, but the quality still looks pretty good. I was actually able to zoom in on some shots that I didn't like, some of the stuff that was in the background, or I wanted to differentiate between different takes. And then when you're done filming in cinematic mode, you actually have to convert the footage. There's a specific button that you have to press in the iPhone to convert the footage so that you can then airdrop it to your computer. Otherwise, it won't airdrop. And this is a lesson that I did not know until I did some research. So if you have cinematic footage, if you have footage that you shot in cinematic mode on the iPhone, it actually won't airdrop over until it's converted. It's basically going to take the cinematic clip and convert it into like a transferable MOV, MP4, whatever file that you can then transfer into your computer. So from there, I brought it into Final Cut, and here are the clips in Final Cut. So I have me playing drums, and then full disclosure, actually, these two drum clips, I actually didn't play to the track because I shot them using my phone. And the track was on my phone, so I didn't have anything to play back to. So I'm actually playing along to the song from memory, trying to stay on tempo as best as I can. So these shots I actually had to time out manually, but the rest of these shots, this one here, this one, this one, and this one, these are the shots of me playing the two different instruments. These two shots, really the same. Same angle, same instrument, same everything. I just did 2 takes of it. So one of which I zoomed in on, which I'll show you in a second. And then these 2 shots, one is, the typical, me playing shot with the microphone. And then the other one is kind of me just being a little more free, if you will, moving around the room, getting close to the camera, that kind of stuff. So what I did here was I selected all these clips and I right clicked and I said create new multicam clip. Now, when it creates that multicam clip, this is what it's going to look like. And in here, I have 4 different clips. And what I ended up doing is I actually found the spot where I start playing to the song, and I timed them out individually to each clip so that when I start playing, when I start playing those chords, that I have all 4 of those clips start at the same time that I start playing the chords, right? So that they all are in sync. And then the drums here, like I said, I actually had to manually time out so that I was on beat, right? So I end up with 5 different clips. And actually I can go ahead and name these if I wanted to. So I'll name this guitar 1, I'll name this guitar 2, bass 1, bass 2, and then this is already called drums, okay? So now when I go back, I have this multicam clip here. And actually, just so I can show you guys how I do this from scratch, I'll bring this in here, okay? So I have this multicam clip that I'm gonna drag into my timeline right there. And what's cool about this is you can actually use the number pads, the numbers on the number pads here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to change between the clips that you want. Now you can actually change it using the mouse as well. Now these 3 buttons right here are really, really important. This one indicates that you're changing the video and the audio at the same time. So if you're switching from one angle to the next, both the video and the audio are switching. This one means that you are just switching the video angle, and this one means that you are just switching the audio angle. So for our purposes, we just want to switch the video because we're going to have the audio export of the song as our main music track underneath, right, that we're timing it out to. So I'm going to select this video only one, and then I can say while this is playing, let's say for example I'm playing this, all right, and now I want to switch to camera angle 3. Now I want to switch to camera angle 1 again. Now I want to go to drums. Now I want to go to 2, back to 3, back to 1, back to 4. But another way, and a much faster way, the way that I prefer, is that you can actually press the space bar. Using the number keys on the number pad, you can actually just press 2, 4, 1, 5, 3, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, and just keep going back and forth. And it's literally making real-time edits, and you can see what all your shots look like right here. And because you're just dealing with 1080 footage, that's 9:16, it's not gonna be task heavy on the computer at all, depending on the computer that you have. I have an M1 Max MacBook Pro, 24 core GPU, 32 gigs of RAM, so it can handle the 1080 clips like it's nothing. It's totally fine, right? But I love the fact that I can literally, in the time that it takes for the song to play from beginning to end, I can cut between this track. I can cut between this video and just say, all right, now I want 4, now I want 2, now I want 5, now I want 3, now I want 1, back to whatever, and just go back and forth. Now, if you make a mistake, if you're like, you know what, I wasn't happy with that edit that I did right there, you can actually zoom in and you can grab the cut right here in between. So you'll see if I move my mouse over here, it changes, and I can actually adjust this and move this and say I want to make this longer, I want to make this shorter, or you know what, I don't like this angle at all, so I'm just gonna bring that over there. All right, so now this is gonna switch from this here to this angle, right? So I'm gonna switch from this angle to this angle, all good. So you can actually go in and fine tune this after the fact that you've done this and you've done the edit. Now, let's say you've done the edit and everything's good to go. Now, what if you want to color correct your clips? What if you want to zoom in? What if you want to add anything at all to the clips specifically, not the multicam clip, but the individual clips? So you can actually double click and go back in here and adjust these clips one by one. So actually what I've done with this one is the first guitar clip is normal. This is how I shot it. I didn't touch it at all in any way, shape, or form. You can see position is 0, rotation is 0, scale is 100%. Everything is normal. However, with the second clip, I've made some changes. So I've zoomed in 164% over here. And at this 164%, I've brought the Y position up 118.7. So what that's done is it's giving me a little bit of a different look, right? So that I'm a little bit more zoomed in. It's a little more personal. It's a little more in your face versus this top clip right here. This top clip is just the one that zoomed out, normal, what I shot, right? Now, if we go into this base 1 clip, same thing. I'm zoomed in 176%. You can see my X and Y positions are adjusted here. So this one, very specifically, I wanted just a close-up of my face, not necessarily showing the bass, right? And then here in base 2, I'm actually normal clip, 100%, scale, 0, 0 on the X and Y axis. Everything is fine there. And then on the drums, I did do a little bit of a zoom in, 124%. So you can actually go in here individually and change all this. You can actually go in here and say, let's say I want to make this second clip right here, I want to make it black and white. You know, even I want it zoomed in and I want it black and white. So you can actually go into your color correction, go to your saturation, bring that all the way down. Let's say mess with the exposure a little bit. So now all of a sudden, all your shots that you have back here that you did that were guitar 2 are automatically black and white. So when I play this back, there's that black and white shot, back to color, color, and then back to black and white again. So you can make those adjustments if you want. If you go back and say, hey, you know what, I don't want to do that, just turn that off, and now you're good to go. Last but not least, let's say you finished your music video, everything is good. What I did over here, and I'll actually show you, this is the final edit. I added a few adjustment layers here. So this adjustment layer is literally just a LUT that's on top of this that kind of makes it pop a little bit. You'll just see that. So look at the skin tone on my face here versus it being on, it just pops a little bit. It's a little bit more warmer. It looks nicer. And then there's an adjustment layer here as well. And what this is doing is it's adding a shake to the overall clip, right? So I did this adjustment layer, and over here under installed effects, I just have the handheld effect on here, so that when this plays back, and this is the handheld effect right here, you can actually see it right there. When this starts playing, it looks like the camera is moving or like someone's holding the phone or anything like that, right? Even though I just have it on a tripod and it's just me by myself, it looks somewhat like someone's actually holding this clip. And then just to top it all off, I added some lyrics on top of it just so people can follow along to what I'm saying. This is actually a cover of a Nirvana cover of a song called Molly's Lips, originally performed by a band called the Vaselines. Nirvana covered it and put it out on their album Incesticide. It's been stuck in my head ever since I was a kid, and so I decided I'd record it and make a music video out of it. And I'm actually putting it out on my music YouTube channel. I'll put the link below if you want to check it out and watch it and subscribe to that there, because there's going to be a whole ton of music content that's going to go out over there. But I just wanted to show you how I put that music video together. This literally took me 2 hours. Super simple, because as I'm just playing, I'm just changing camera angles on the fly. And if I don't like it, like I said, I can zoom in, adjust, and then be on my way. And then what I love about that is, again, you can go into the multicam clip, make your adjustments, and then go back and continue on with your edit. For those who have projects that have multiple angles, I believe it behooves you to do multicam. I'm not a fan of stacking and layering the clips, because it's so limiting in my opinion, where multicam kind of frees you up. Everything's nice and clean and organized, and you can get so much out of it if you do that. So remember, the steps are, you basically just highlight all your clips, you right click, you make a multicam clip, and in that multicam clip, when you open it up, you basically make the adjustments and make sure that everything is on time. A good rule of thumb, and actually what I do for these videos, is that at the very beginning, with all the cameras on and with the audio source on, I clap my hands once so that all the cameras see it and the microphone picks it up, and so that therefore I can sync everything to that hand clap. So the moment that my hand hits and it makes that sound, I time it all out to that, and then from there you know that you're in sync, and then you can move forward with your multicam clip. You can go ahead and color grade it, you can go ahead and put LUTs on it, you can do whatever you want it to do after the fact, and it's just super clean. I love using the multicam feature in Final Cut. I think it's amazing. It's definitely better than the multicam feature that Premiere has, in my opinion. I've used both extensively, and I think Final Cut is the way to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to check out my cover of Molly's Lips by Nirvana, by the Vaselines, I'll leave the link in the description box below for you to check it out. And if you want to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, where it's going to be primarily music-based content, please go ahead and do so. It's just my personal name, Amir Kostafan. But this channel, Arc Overload, will continue to be tech-based and how-to stuff on video production, editing, content creation, productivity, all that kind of fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking your time and checking out this video. Please leave a like if you found this content valuable, and please hit that subscribe button to help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We are almost there. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next time.